everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So it is a beautiful spring day here in Georgia. And today I have a plan. I am repotting a lot of my seedlings into a bigger pot that they will stay in until they go into the ground. I got a little nervous because the watermelon started falling over. I knew it was because they were probably leggy and cold, but my friend and twinsy over at Boots and Bounty, Casey, talked me off a ledge. So we're good. We're just gonna repot, and we're gonna actually put them today in the garden area where they're going, so they can get used to the wind and they can get used to the sun in that area. So if that is something that interests you, stick around.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, welcome back. Okay, so what I'm doing today is all of these beautiful tomato babies and pepper babies and watermelon babies, even my asparagus and some of my lettuce. I'm going to repot them in bigger stuff today. Now, I was going to be not as bougie and use the plastic cups, but I didn't have any, and this was kind of a last minute thing. So we're just going to go with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of the soil that I'm using, and I'm using an organic garden soil from Kellogg. I'll show a video right here while I'm talking. I'm going to put it halfway, and then I'm going to repot the plant. One thing that I like to do, now listen, you know, we're always concerned and worried about leggy plants, especially leggy tomatoes. One thing that has to do with is your light source. Now I'm going to do a video on the light source that I've been using, and don't get me wrong, it worked for what I was doing then. It is not working for me now. And so I just want to clarify that, because I do know that some people do text me and they're like, hey Casey, what do you use? Can you suggest anything? And I had a video on it, but not for this size scale. Okay, got that out of the way. Let me just use the Cloudy Bay tomatoes for example. The babies look great. They're a little leggy. So what I like to do, and I like to plant too, because you never know what's going to germinate, is I like to go ahead and separate them and, you know, repot them a little bit deeper to where it's right, maybe an inch below the leaf line. And that stem, or that stem is going to grow roots there, and it's going to be a sturdier tomato plant. Now one thing, when there's like this right here, there's a seed, one thing that I like to do, and it's kind of nasty, but it's okay. Get a little bit of saliva on there and just gently rub, and it's going to come off. It's going to come right off. And it won't mess up your leaves. But if it's still there, it's time to open up, girl. So that's what we're doing today, is with our tomato plants. And a lot of our peppers are looking really good, and it's time for them to get into a bigger one. I did the same thing of potting them in 2 seeds per little cell. They need their own little space. I'm trying to think of some other ones to show you. I did plant some, I'll tell you, let me see if I can find all the ones. Right here. I joined a seed swap head by Christina, my friend Christina over at Hilltop Gardens. And it was so much fun, and I've planted some of the seeds. I haven't planted all of them. It was 15 of us, and I was able to get a lot of the veggies that I needed that I'm doing for the spring summer garden in. One of them was a watermelon, and I'm going to put here on the screen who gave it to me. I can't remember all of the names. It's some fabulous channels that you definitely need to go check out. But the watermelon was one. They have sprouted. They look great. Now, they were a little wilted. I think it was because it got too cold in the greenhouse last night. But they're back standing up straight. But that is one of the seeds that I got from the seed swap, and I'm so excited about. But also I got a grand bell pepper. Again, I'm going to put the name of the channel down here. I actually planted them. These were planted a while back. And these are when I got them. So they've germinated. They're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and repot them now just so they can catch up fast. But they're the Grand Bells. I got some habaneros, which I'm so excited about. They're all have germinated. And I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong, but Criolla de Cochina peppers. And they have germinated. So, oh, I got some red onions too. And you know, I've already planted a lot of my onions, but what I'm gonna do is add these in there. They may be a little bit behind, maybe 2 weeks behind, but it's okay because they're gonna be good. But I got the red onions. Again, all the names will be on the screen of the ones that I got them from. The flowers, a lot were flowers, and I'm not planting those yet. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. And then there were a lot of like squash that are direct sow. So let's go ahead, enough of me blah, blah, blahing, and let's go ahead and talk about repotting the plants. What I'm gonna start with is I'm gonna start with the watermelons because they're getting a little bit leggy and they were drooping a little bit. And my friend and twinsy over at Boots and Bounty Homestead said when I repot them, just plant them a little bit deeper. They'll get more like sturdy and secure. But what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna put them in all of these little black tubs. Now, I bought a lot of these last year. Luckily for me, these were left by the previous owner of the homestead and a lot of these. So I should have enough to plant all of these, repot all of these plants. If I don't, I'll have to get some more and I won't plant those now. But these I'm gonna use for the lettuces. I'm gonna put a couple lettuces in each one of these. My dear friend Monica over at Bland's Promised Land Ranch, I've been like texting with her all morning, also with Casey, about, oh my God, why are my lettuce seeds looking like this? I've always grown lettuce straight in a raised bed. I've never started it and then planted it. I did it in a previous video. If you didn't know about that, you can click right up here, and we zhuzhed the lettuce. So what she said, hers got leggy too. She just repotted them and they were good. And her lettuce is looking beautiful this year. Beautiful. Yes, all the soil, if you can see down here, looks a little bit dry. Today is watering day, so don't come for me in the comments. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, y'all, the wind is real here in the country. Or maybe it's just where I am. It's just been a windy couple of days. Yesterday, it got so windy that it was knocking over baby's her food little machine. I had to go out there like 4 times and redo it. I was like, for real? Wind? For real. But what I'm gonna do, okay, first we're going to do the watermelon. It just said watermelon on it. I don't know the type of watermelon that it is. This is from the Seed Swap. If you are watching that Seed Swapped with me on the watermelon and know what type of watermelon it is, leave it in the comment section or DM me. But this is the watermelon. So all I'm really gonna do is I'm just gonna loosen it up and pinch so that I can get it out of its cell right here. Ooh. And great root system, and I'm going to dig it down. And then I'm going to just backfill. And one thing about backfilling or getting your plants a little bit deeper is they'll grow a root system underneath the soil, which only is just going to make it a stronger plant. So if you can, why not? There we go, we got it replanted, and this is going to be the little watermelon. So I know, because I'm taking it out to the garden areas where we're going to be planting them today, so they can get used to that wind and all that kind of stuff. Hardening off, pretty much is what people call it. But let me go and do that to all the watermelons and the cantaloupe, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about tomatoes. Alrighty, so we just finished up the watermelons. And I was gonna try and do the asparagus, but you're really supposed to repot them to where the octopus-y thing starts. And my pots aren't that big. So what I'm going to do is, they still have about 3 more weeks before I can put them in the ground. And so I'm going to do that then. So I already did 2 of them. Hey, if it works, it works. Again, if it doesn't, I will buy some bare root asparagus. But now I'm going on to basically the bread and butter of the gardens, which is the maters. With leggy tomatoes, when you replant them, you want to do them about 1 inch from where the leaves are. And this is just what I have learned. And they build more root systems on what is buried underneath the soil. So it makes them a stronger plant in the long run kind of thing. So basically that's what I'm going to do. Just like I did for the watermelons, I'm going to go ahead and fill up. I did about 3/4 way. With the potting soil, I'm going to get it down and I'm going to just transplant them. And I'm going to go about 1 inch from there so they're not leggy. And this is a beefsteak. And see, I planted it that far. And then once it grows more, it's going to have a sturdier root system underneath. And then once I get all these repotted, everybody gonna get a good old drink of fish emulsion and some watering, and then they're gonna go sit out in the garden and I'll show you that. So let me go ahead and start getting these tomatoes off camera done, and then we'll come back and do the peppers and then move on to the garden. Alrighty, so now all of them, and I'll show kind of an overview of all of it. All of them have been repotted except one thing, aromas. I didn't have enough little cup things. If I find them, I'll redo them. Otherwise, we'll go into town tomorrow. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my notes to make sure that I have everything that I need for the garden. And then we're going to give it a good watering with the hose, and then I'm going to give it a fish emulsion tea spray. Yeah? And then we're going to take them and we're going to take them over in the garden. I don't know what time it is, but hopefully we'll get about maybe 3 or 4 hours of the wind and the sun before I bring them back in. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, y'all, so all the plants are now behind me in the garden, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'll show kind of like an overview. The fertilization obviously worked on the garden because it's probably up to mid-calf now of grass, which is the nitrogen. So what I'm going to do probably next weekend that we're here is I'm going to start solarizing the garden area, which basically means I'm going to cut the grass down very short, water it to about 1 foot of water. And then I'm going to put black plastic on top of it, and that's going to suppress all the weeds so that when I take it off so I can till, it's all ready for me to rock and roll. So y'all, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing a lot more of these videos as garden season takes off. So make sure you're subscribed for that. Follow us on social media at Instagram and Facebook at Ormsby Farm. We post there most likely every day. But until next video, thanks for stopping by the homestead. We'll see you next time. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.